guys, welcome to this week's episode of The Geekified Girl. I am so excited, you know why? Because like 19 of you watched last week's Geekified Girl. So that's like 19 more people than I expected to watch last week's Geekified Girl. Yay! Thank you so much for watching. So this week, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be covering true crime. That's this week's Gateway Comics. It's going to be true crime. And we're going to start with this guy right here, Rick Geary. He does all like famous true crime stories, like Jack the Ripper, for example. That's just to name one. Obviously, that's this comic here. Most of his stuff is on Kickstarter these days. But what he basically does is he'll do true crime stories, but he won't actually solve the crime. He won't say like how he thinks it was done. He just sort of lays out the evidence, and then the reader kind of can decide for themselves like how they think it happened. So he just covers like unsolved crime mostly. And yeah, I'd highly recommend his stuff because it's not hard. It's not something that's going to be like really complicated to get into. It's not like this big, thick, daunting book to try and get into. It's, you know, it's this. So this is a good comic to try and get somebody into true crime. The other true crime comic I'm going to be covering this week, Green River Killer. Basically, this is based on a true serial killer story. It's happened in Seattle. This guy killed like over 40 women. It's an unsolved crime. But basically, this book is written by, this graphic novel I should say, is written by the son of the detective who's working on the case. So obviously he had access to the case notes and, you know, like his interviews with his father about it and all that sort of thing. So, you know, it's sort of quite accurate and actually very moving. So, you know, it's a sort of bigger one, I guess, if you've got a friend that's already into reading and you just want to get them into comics instead, and they like true crime stuff, this is the way to go. Green River Killer, fantastic book. So that covers our Gateway Comics this week. New releases is next. New releases I'm going to do. So this week's new release, if you are not already reading Gotham Academy, what the hell is wrong with you? That is what I would like to know. What the hell is wrong with you? Because this is the shit. It is fantastic. It is like Scooby-Doo and comedy and mystery and awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. The art is great as well. Becky Cloonan, fantastic writer, Becky Cloonan, yay. Okay, I'm going to read you, this is just like the first half of the first page, guys. And I swear to God, if you're not into this comic after I've read you this, there's just, don't even. So, here we go. I'm putting my reading voice on. You go grab yourself some popcorn or a blanket or whatever. Here we go. November 13th. Dreamt the dream again. The evening passed. Father beckons me to jump from my window into his arms with the promise of asylum and love. I take him at his word, although I should know better, and loose myself from captivity. As the ground comes hard upon me, Father is commuted by a never-ending blackness. Though I believe it to be a dark passage to a disagreeable ending, the revelation makes itself known within a breath. The darkness is my only true shelter. This is the shit. Look, see that? That's only like the first half of the first page, guys. This is the diary of Millie Jane Cobblepot is what I was just reading. And it is just, that's basically kind of what you get started into in this issue. We're only up to issue 2, but it is so good. Oh, you guys have to read this. It's so good. Trust me. So, Gotham Academy. Read. Next up, Game of Thrones. Yes, I know. I can already hear you saying, oh, I've already read the book. Oh, I've been watching the TV show. What do I want to read the comic for too? Here's why you want to read the comic. You want to read the comic for this stuff. For the art. The art. Tommy Patterson. He's a god. Look at this stuff. Look at it. Don't you just want it? Isn't it just... I don't even have any words for it. It's just so good. I mean, they're kind of far behind in the comic book series. They're only up to the death of Ned Stark, and I don't want to hear any shit from you people about spoilers. If you don't already know that Ned Stark dies, I just can't even cope with you right now. There's just no point. Just yeah. Game of Thrones comic. Get it for the art, if nothing else, because it is just, I mean, oh my God, look at this. See? The art. Get it for the art. Game of Thrones. So that covers this week's new releases, and it also covers the Gateway Comics, and now we're going to go into the news, the hard-hitting stuff. In this week's comic book news, the internet exploded with news of the entire list of movies that Marvel will be releasing. DC released their list of movies, and then Marvel just kind of came back with, screw that, you want a list? Here's a list. Which is fantastic, and there are just so many good movies coming up. Everyone's most excited about Captain Marvel. I'm not a Captain Marvel fan. I tried, I really did. Okay, whatever feelings you've got about that, put down in the comments. Down there in the comments. But what it's going to take to get for me to get really excited, what's going to take? It's a Batgirl movie. Oh my god, a Batgirl movie so has to happen. DC, you need to come back now with a Batgirl movie, because that would just top everything. And I swear, if you do this, I will never say another bad word about DC again, ever. That is a promise. No matter what shit you put out, no matter how badly you draw the women with the sexy and the butts and the boobs and the... I don't care. I'll never say anything bad about you again. I don't think a Barbara Gordon movie would work, though. Kills me to say that, because I love her so much. She's my favourite. I love you, Barbara Gordon. But I think what would actually work is a Stephanie Brown Batgirl. I think Barbara Gordon would just be a bit too intense, and maybe a little bit too complicated for people that haven't actually heard of the character before, seen the character before. I think a Stephanie Brown Batgirl movie would work so much better. It would be like a Buffy movie, only with Stephanie Brown. Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah. Please do this, DC. Please. And that's it for me with comic book news for this week. I will be back again next week with episode 3 with some more Gateway Comics, some more new releases, and hopefully some more news that just doesn't involve me pleading to DC Comics. Bye. See you next week.
Please do subscribe.